Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who were well. Shalom to Lord Philette. Excuse me. Yeah, I just wanna tell a little story about I think he's a Jake. I'm pretty sure it's a Jake through the spirit. I think he's a bit of a lost Jake. You know, I was on the bus. I think it was like a year, 2 years ago. I say about a year and a half ago. And I saw this Jake. And I was watching the videos from Elder Manatas Bar, and he was like, "Who, what you watching?" You know, and I thought, is that the spirit trying to, get him to understand this? And I told him about it. I said, yeah, black people are Israelites, so on and so forth. I mean, we had the conversation. I thought he had a cool spirit about him. I took his number. I sent him, or I gave him the information, for the elders and the big brothers, on YouTube, so that he can, get some understanding. And I even gave him my number, and I said, if there's anything that you need help with, I'm more than, I'm here. I'll be more than happy to show you the right way, or send you to a brother who understands, because I don't know, he must have been about 21 or something like that when I met him at that time, you know. But I thought to myself, because when I was that age, you were always searching for the knowledge, because this world never really made sense to you. The only thing that really, made sense is these words and these scriptures. That's why it says exhort each other daily. Because it really, because a lot of the times, even watching YouTube, I'll be watching videos on MGTOW and the Manosphere and all of this other stuff, and some of it just it gets me really angry. The only time I feel any level of peace is when I be watching videos from the brothers or reading the scriptures or getting into the scriptures. That brings a level of peace to me. I don't get angry when I hear about the scriptures, because it's salvation. And at this point in my walk, because it says in the beginning is sweet. Let me get that scripture. It started off sweet, and now I'm kind of getting to the better part of it. Because when you first get into the scriptures, you're proper into it. I just used to watch videos all day long, pray all day long. You come into it like a bull. Which is why the Lord says, you're not meant to leave your first love and seeking 10 times more, because initially when you came into the truth, you couldn't get enough of it, and then after a while it starts to turn bitter, because you start receiving chastisement of the Lord. You start you know uh going through things, fixing yourself up, trying to get rid of your bad habits, and it is really a bitter walk. That's why it says prepare yourself for temptation. This is Revelation 10:9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. So it starts off in your mouth sweet, and then afterwards it starts getting bitter. You see Jake, you think Jake's in a spirit, you want to help Jake out, and Jake really just a demon. The same Jake I was talking about, when I gave my number, I wasn't expecting nothing of it, but in the spirit I was thinking, because a lot of the times you project onto other people what you're like. When I was at that age, I was just trying to find the answers to things, and if anybody was trying to break down not to say I know the secrets of the scriptures, but the brothers do, and I learn from the brothers. So I'll be more than happy to share what little I know, or send them to the brothers who know it. He didn't call me, and I thought, all right, cool. And then, I saw him a couple more times, talked to him. He seemed cool, and I didn't see this brother for. I don't think I seen him for like a year or something, maybe a year and a half. And I saw him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you still talk about, still about God." And I was like, because it says the scripture, when you start getting into the scriptures, it says to judge a man by his countenance, and you start being able to read people by their spirit. Sometimes you see a Jake and he got that Opa rubber lip. Like some of the brothers saying, you can tell he's a pork eater. And I was like, God, So I'm like, all that information I sent you, you never looked into it. I never said that to him, but I knew he didn't look into it because if he did, he would have come to me. He would have said, you know, Yahweh or the Most High or whatever. But when he started talking about God and all of this, I'm just like, yeah, you didn't read it. You're not somebody who really wants to be in his faith. You know, I talked to him, and I was thinking, you know, maybe the Most High's still working with him. He's a bit slow, because you know, who am I to judge another man's servant? You know, and I said whatever. And this same brother said, you know, I think I'm better than, when we were having a conversation, he said, I think I'm better than people or whatever, because I was talking about the scriptures and he kept asking me for my interpretation of the scriptures. And I said, there's no my interpretation. This is what the scriptures say, you know. And he's like, yeah, but I like to know other people's interpretation of it. And I started really looking at him like, nigga, you're a demon, bro. Like, how, what the hell does my interpretation have to do with it? The Lord said, don't have sex with another man's wife, you know. And this brother's talking about is your interpretation. How's my interpretation of that? Not to have sex with another man. What am I supposed to have sex with a man's girlfriend because it's not his wife? You know, this is the kind of bullshit that Jake is on. You know, and when I saw him last time, he was like, he said, "How's God?" And I was like, the fuck does that mean? Like, you know, later on, I thought to myself, you know, I should have asked him how's Satan. You know, because that's the most patronizing shit anyone's ever said to me in a long while. How's God? How the fuck am I supposed to know how I was feeling? Maybe he's pissed off. That's why he's putting plagues on the earth. But I don't know how the Lord's feeling. I'm not the Most High, bro. How you gonna ask me how the Lord is as if me and the Lord are on a first name basis, and you know he talks to me as a son or as Moses, you know, and he spoke to Moses as a friend. I'm not Moses, bro. This guy doesn't understand that there's an order to these things. He thinks we're all the same, you know, women can be on the same level as men. And when he said that, I just realized, you know what, you're a demon, man. You know, even trying to say a servant that understands shall be beaten with 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 many stripes. You know, so he was basically trying to say, because I'm getting into the scriptures, you know, I'm damning myself. And I looked at him and I thought, you know, by you receiving the word and not listening, you're damning yourself, but you don't even realize that. And this is Proverbs 21. I'm gonna start 1. My son, if thou wilt receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge and lift this up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then thou shalt understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of Yahweh. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. Then thou shalt understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. When wisdom entered into thy heart and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, and understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man. See, that's the evil man right there. You know, the Lord might save him, but he an evil man. From that man that speaketh froward things, who leave the path of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked. See, this same Jake was talking about, because there used to be a man around here. I'll carry on reading that. Used to be a man around here that used to walk around in a dress, you know, and apparently he died. And I said, good, that's judgment of the Lord. And he said, well, he never hurt nobody. He weren't doing anything wrong. And I was like, but you claim you believe in the Most High and you're a Christian. So, oh, ever since I met you, I got close. I got closer to God. You got closer to the devil, bro. How are you gonna sit there and say you believe in the scriptures and you don't see a man wearing a dress walking around as a woman is going off? Whose ways are who rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked and they froward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with their lips. He flattereth with his lips, but you can see from his actions and what he really says that he's not genuine, which forsaketh the guide of her youth and forgetteth the covenant of her power. For a house inclineth unto death and a path unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life. So he's really talking about Christianity. This guy is in that same path, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men and keep the paths of the righteous. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. Now it doesn't say anything about the man of the Lord receiving power and cutting off two Jakes, but a lot of Jakes that I come across and I deal with, I really like to see the Lord cut them down. I'm not even gonna lie. It says you're the sum total of the 5 people you hang around with. I can't even hang around Drake no more, man, because most of the Drake I come across, they're completely wicked. They don't see any problem with sleeping with another man's woman. They don't see that as going off. They don't see eating shrimp as going off. None of that, but they want to tell you about the scriptures, and they don't even read the scriptures, but they want to tell you about the scriptures. Ecclesiastes 7:12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to them that have it. Uh, it's pro. I can't read all of that. I don't even have enough time. Proverbs 4:1. Hear ye children the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding, for I give you good doctrine. Forsake ye not my law, for I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. This guy, I love to read more of this, man. But I really want to show what spirit this guy's gonna be in when it all comes to pass. This is Romans 1:22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools like him, because he think he a smart ass. Talking about how's God. You were smart ass saying some stuff like that, and change the glory of the uncorruptible power onto an image made like to corruptible man, as if I speak to God on a first name basis, like me and God is just cool like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm Moses or something. And to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things, like God is on that level, like I'm on that level with the Most High, because I'm a creeping thing to the Lord. How the hell am I supposed to know how the Lord's feeling? I'm pretty sure he's pissed off because of niggas like you and guys walking around holding hands and that, which I see a lot in my area. I'm like, this guy enough, man. Guy don't see anything wrong with that. Therefore, Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. So you saying these moles are cool? You're saying a man is really higher than the Most High because the Most High said not to do that, but you're saying it's cool. James 3:15. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. Saying two men can walk together and wear dress and they're cool and you don't see a problem with it. But where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. See, we're not trying to read the scriptures and be hypocrites like these so-called Christians say, "Oh, I believe in God." A man eats pork. Man think it's okay for a man to wear a dress. Man think it's okay for a man to hold hands. Man think it's okay to pop on a man's woman, and the fruit of unrighteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. Even though I really want, because when people come to you and in that spirit, you really wanna put hands on them, but you can't. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Now, when all of this stuff hits the fan, what do you think this guy gonna do? He's not gonna have a clue. And he said, he asked me what the lake of fire is, and I told him, and he looked at me like, yeah, okay. So I'm like, okay, all right. When this will kick off, yeah, what spirit do you think this guy's gonna be in? But the wise answer saying, this is Matthew 25:9. But the wise answer saying, not so. I must start at 6. And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgin, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. See, that's how the Lord gonna deal with him. Hopefully the Lord don't deal with me in that way. But that's the spirit that this guy is in, man. You think you smart and then you want to turn back to the Lord, and in the last minute, like the Lord's a fool. All praises to the Most High Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, double honest to the elders and apostles of James, who well shalom to the elect.